Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this video, we will discuss the Page 2 tutorial, which will produce hollow base part 1 and 2, iron coaster, iron mat, iron pole, and MDF base. Then, there are the machine used, namely hacksaw machine, drilling machine, milling machine, lathes, jigsaw machine, and robots. The following is the process for making parts in Page 2.
Okay, in this video, we will explain what personal protective equipment must be used by practitioners during tutorials on the shop floor. The first is wear pack. Wear pack is one type of clothing used with the aim of protecting the user from the possibility of minor to severe injury. In addition, wear packs are used to protect the operator's body from scrap. The second is safety glove. Safety glove to protect the hands when doing work. Gloves serve to protect hands from fire, heat, cold, radiation, electric current, impact, blows, and stretcher from sharp. And next is masks. Masks are personal protective equipment used to protect the user from the dust. And next is safety glass. Safety glass function to protect the eye area from harmful influence such as high light intensity and residual materials. Earmuff. Earmuffs are used to muffle the sound produced from the engine. And next is shoes. Shoes are personal protective equipment that are worn to avoid the risk of accident to the feet. In addition to avoiding accidents, shoes are also used to increase the effectiveness.
The following is a hacksaw machine that will be used for the process of making hollow base 1 and 2. There are components that we need to know to be able to operate a hacksaw machine. The first is the drive motor, used to drive the hacksaw machine. Then there is a drive mechanism used to transmit power from the drive motor to the saw blade. Then there is the frame, then the saw blade, vise logging lever, and handles. The following are the materials and tools used to make hollow base part. The first is hollow iron, then the tools are coolant, measuring tape, and angle ruler. Before cutting, take a measurement of 400 mm on the hollow iron. Then, draw a line using an angle ruler according to the mark you made earlier. The first step is to raise the handle and insert the workpiece on the vise, then lock the vise. Then lower the handle until it approaches the workpiece. Make sure the operator is next to the hacksaw machine. The operator must not be in front of the hacksaw machine because it can endanger the operator. Then we can press the green on button. Apply coolant periodically to cool the areas where friction occurs. If the workpiece has been cut, turn off the machine by pressing the red button. The next step is the filling process. This filling is used to remove raw surface. Then, in the filling process, there are tools used, namely a vise and a file. The first step is to place the workpiece on the vise, then the lock. Then, do the filling with movement in the same direction. The following are the result of making hollow base 1 and hollow base 2.
Okay, the next step is to make iron coaster parts by preparing them strip flat and prepare several tools in the form of an angle ruler, vernier caliper, and coolant. The next step is to make measurements strip flat with a length of 80 millimeters. Next, make cut as explained previously. The next step is to flatten the surface of the iron coaster parts using milling machine. Milling machine have several components. The first is feed handle lock to lock the feed handle, operation control to turn off and on the machine, nutritional scale, spindle lock, chuck, arbor, knife edge, lock vise, table traverse crank, saddle traverse crank, and vise. Some of the tools needed for a milling machine are an angle ruler and vise lock. The first step is to insert the workpiece into the vise and lock it using vise lock. After the workpiece is installed in the vise, make sure the workpiece is straight using an angle ruler. After the workpiece is installed in the vise, next set the machine table by setting saddle traverse crank. Make sure the blade is in place behind the workpiece. The next step is to ensure that the blade is in the center of the workpiece by adjusting table traverse crank. The first step is to adjust the blade using the feed handle until the blade is on the surface of the workpiece. After setting the workpiece, the next step is to ensure the feed handle is locked using the feed handle lock at spindle lock. The next step is to turn on the milling machine by turning the button to reverse. Here is the results of flattening the sides of the iron coaster parts using a milling machine.
Next, we will make iron made parts. For iron made parts, we have to prepare materials in the form of strip flat. Then, for the tools, we have to prepare a caliper and an angle ruler. Before cutting, we first take measurement with the size of 100 mm and then mark them using a chalk. Make cuts using a hacksaw machine as explained previously. The following is a drilling machine that will be used to drill holes in iron made parts. What differentiates drilling and milling machines is that milling machines use end mill blades, while drilling machines use twist bit. Before drilling, we first take measurement using a caliper and an angle ruler. Take measurement from the side of 25 mm and also from the top side by 20 mm. Verify the mark using an angle ruler. Do the marking on the workpiece that has been marked using a hammer and a pin with one blow. After pinning, the next step is drilling. The first step is to install the workpiece in the vise, then lock it. The next step is to adjust the position of the workpiece by moving the slide table traverse crank and saddle traverse crank. Next, position the pin directly under the drill bit. The next step is to release the feed handle lock. Then start the engine by turning it to the right. Drill until the drill bit penetrates the workpiece. Don't forget to give coolant periodically. After completing drilling using a drilling machine, the next step is to take the workpiece in a vise and continue with the filling process after carrying out the drilling process. Next step is to file it to remove the rough surface. Do it as taught previously. The following is an iron-made part resulting from drilling and filling.
For the next part, we will make an iron pole part. In making the iron pole part, we use a hacksaw machine. Practice preparing work objects and tools in the form of vernier calipers. Next, take a measurements of 105 mm solid iron. After taking measurements on solid iron, next, we will proceed to the cutting stage. Before proceeding to the cutting stage, we place the workpiece in the vise, then lock the workpiece with the vise key. When locking the workpiece in the vise, we must ensure the workpiece is parallel to the saw blade. After the blade is paid, with the measurements that have been taken, then we will turn on the machine by pressing the green button or the on button. Make sure the practitioner is next to the hacksaw machine. And provide coolant periodically.
After the workpiece has been cut, turn off the machine by pressing the red button. The following is an iron pole part with a size of 105 mm. The following is a lathe that will be used in making iron pole parts. There are several components to operate a lathe. The first component, namely the chuck. The chuck functions to clamp the workpiece on the lathe. The second component is the inching button, which functions to ensure the chuck rotates properly. The third component is emergency button, which function to quickly turn off the machine. The fourth component is the tool post, which is the holder for the lathe tool. The fifth component is the feed hand wheel and carriage hand wheel, or upper carriage and lower carriage. The upper slide is used to transfer turning. The lower slide is for longitudinal turning. Next, prepare the workpiece you want to turn, then install the workpiece into the chuck like this. Chuck lock when the workpiece is in the middle of the chuck. Before feeding, release the chuck key to a safe place. Do not put chuck key on the top of the lathe because it can endanger the operator who is operating the lathe. After the iron pole part is installed, take a measurement of 5 mm. Then, bring the lathe chisel closer to the specified size. Then, after the lathe chisel stick to the size of 5 mm. We do inching by marking the iron pole part. Emergency, turn to the right. After the power indicator lights up, we press inching. We keep the lathe tool away from the workpiece. The first step to feed, we bring the lathe chisel close to the workpiece. Then, set the transfer stroke scale to 0 mm by holding the transfer stroke so that it does not rotate. Move the lathe tool away from the workpiece again, then set the transfer sliding scale to 1.5. To set the 1.5 scale, we have to make sure the cross-section feels heavy. We wait until the cross-section becomes heavy. If it is heavy, then adjust it to 1.5. We do nutrition by lowering the on-off lever. The turn off the engine by raising the lever. We do the second nutrition of 1.5 mm. First, we bring the lathe chisel closer to the workpiece using the bottom and transfer slides. Set the scale to 0 mm. Set the transfer scale again to 1.5. Bring the lathe to closer to the workpiece slightly apart, then we turn on the machine by lowering the on-off lever. Then, we will do the third fit. In the third fit, the method is the same as by bridging the lead chisel closer to the workpiece using the bottom and horizontal slate. Set the feeding scale to 0 mm. Keep the lead chisel away, then we set the scale to 1.9 mm. Then, we bring the lead chisel closer to the workpiece. Because the feet still cannot enter the iron mat, we will carry out another fit of 0.5 mm. We measure it again from the injection. After the injection is done, it can enter the iron mat. Remove the workpiece with the ratchet wrench. Here is the iron pole part that has been fed by the lathe. After using the lathe, emergency turn off to the lathe. Thank you very much.
The following is a jigsaw machine that will be used in the process of making MDF part. There are several components that need to be considered in operating the jigsaw machine. First, there are switch on-off to turn on and off the jigsaw machine. Second, there is a speed knob to adjust the speed of the saw blade. Third, there is a table that is used as a base for the workpiece in the cutting process. This is the saw blade that we use, the pin blade. The first step that needs to be done before the cutting process is preparing the MDF material and totals in the form of a marker and a caliper. Then, give size to the MDF material with a length of 80 mm and a width of 50 mm. Give a point and draw a line to form a rectangle according to the size. It should be noted by practitioner for the position of the hand must be between the lines. The following is the position of the hand during the cutting process. The first step in the cutting process is to press the switch on to turn on the jigsaw machine. Then, turn the speed knob in the clockwise direction. Next, we can do the cutting process using a jigsaw machine. After the cutting process is complete, turn the speed knob in a counterclockwise direction and press the switch off to turn off the machine. The following is the result of cutting MDF part using a jigsaw machine. The following is the bot that is used to create group names on MDF part. There are several components that need to be considered in order to operate the bot. The first component is the power button. Second, the forearm that is used to direct the end effector during the work process. End effector itself is a tool at the end of the dobot arm. Third, the lock forearm is a button that is used to move the forearm. Fourth, the LED indicator that is used to make sure if the dobot is on and in the right position. Lastly, the base that is used as a place to support the entire dobot arm. And before doing the naming process, put the MDF part in the place that has been marked. The first thing to do is to open the Dobot Studio application on your computer. Next, select COM5 and click Connect. Then, do homing. After that, select Write and Draw. Turn the end effector into a laser. Then, enter the text according to the class and the group code. For example, PX0. And then click OK. Select Auto Z to keep the laser height from changing. Right-click on the text and select Settings. Then set the X to 260 mm and Y to 35 mm. Then, set the width to 70 mm and the height to 40 mm by unchecking the lock aspect ratio. Click Signpost to determine the starting point of the laser process, and make sure you wear laser protection glasses before the laser process. Then click Start. When finished, click Stop. The following is the naming process using Dobot.